Hey everyone, Odd here with some breaking news. This has been ongoing now for a couple weeks, but what's going on in Kazakhstan right now is very interesting because if you remember, the United States did this in Syria, Libya. They also did this in Ukraine, 2014, if you remember. All these things kind of perpetuated the invasion of Ukraine when Russia went in and seized control of Crimea. These uprisings are created from outside forces for political reasons, okay? And the leader of Kazakhstan is asking for Russia's help right now because they're saying that outside political forces are at play here with these people uprising, just like the separatist groups in Syria, Libya, etc. So, we know that these tactics have been utilized for a long time now. We were doing it in Ukraine, so Russia activated some of their groups that they were also positioning in Ukraine, and they were able to seize control of Crimea. But I wanted to go ahead and get into this here real quick with you all. WW3 here is talking about it, and it's also in the news, but the mainstream's kind of steering away from it for the most part. They're not really trying to get into detail with this. Of course, understandably so, because World War III is coming. We're starting to see the unraveling right now, okay? So if you were to watch some of the videos that are coming in right now from Kazakhstan, a buddy of mine sent me a video. I'm going to show you guys here on one of my next videos coming up here in the next hour or two of gunshots going off and just complete and utter anarchy and chaos. This is coming to the globe, folks. This is not just going to be, stationed over there in a faraway land where we're just like, oh, well, it's over there, it's not going to affect us. No. This cancer is going to spread. Be prepared, okay? This is just the beginning as we enter into 2022, and we know that this is going to be a year of chaos, okay? So we need to pay attention here. Just like we said, 2020 was bad. How could it get worse? And 2020 was worse, and then now here comes 2022, and it's going to get worse. I mean, these things are not going to go away because the globalists are continuing to push for their ends, the means to their ends. They want total global domination. So definitely check this video out from DahBoo. I used to promote him before back in the day. He's always got great information and great content. I still remember when he had 3,000-4,000 subscribers. Glad to see that he has taken off in the world. He's a very smart man and is able to figure things out very well. I remember during the Boston bombings, he was the one that located the individual who had the Zakhar's when he was rounding a corner of a building. He still had his backpack on, but yet the bomb blast had already gone off, and I remember that. So very, very interesting stuff. Always liked him. If you guys want to, if you haven't subscribed to him yet, subscribe definitely. Also check out his video here. Very interesting stuff. Let me go ahead and get into some other news here as well. This doesn't have to do with World War III, but I'm getting back into that. But I just thought I'd bring this up because it says NASCAR nixes Brandon Brown sponsorship deal referencing the anti-Biden meme. The meme company, that's Let's Go Brandon, was supposed to be his sponsor, and he had it all over his car. He was promoting it, and then NASCAR said, no, you can't do that. This is why I don't watch sports anymore, folks. I don't like NASCAR anymore. I used to be a huge NASCAR fan, big Kyle Larson fan and Earnhardt fan. I just can't watch it anymore. Same thing with the football, with the NFL. I was a Redskins fan. Washington football team, come on, man. Like, I'm just tired of the political nonsense. I just cannot watch sports anymore. Used to love basketball. Can't watch it anymore because of crybabies like LeBron. I mean, I'm just tired of sports getting themselves involved in politics, sticking their nose where it doesn't belong to push an agenda that they have absolutely no clue of. I mean, these people are pretty much becoming puppets for the elitist, and they don't even realize it. And it's sad because when you have a bunch of money, of course, you can somewhat see what you believe is righteous or a good side to be on because what they preach sounds amazing. I mean, if I told you that I had this amazing dish of pizza at my house that was covered in pepperoni and bacon and cheese, and it's the best pizza you ever had. And, you're going to be like, man, this guy over here's got the best pizza ever, man. I heard so many stories about this guy having the best pizza ever, but then you get there and it's trash because you never tasted it. You just heard a word of mouth that the pizza was good. You get there and you don't like it. It's the same exact thing when it comes to socialism. It sounds good, but once it's implemented, you kind of wish that you didn't go that route. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next here. China denies reported expansion of its nuclear arsenal. Yeah, China's been expanding its nuclear arsenal. The United States has actually been depleting its nuclear arsenal, and Russia has kind of been stalemate with theirs. It's been kind of neutral. So Russia now has more nuclear weapons than us, and China has been expediting their nuclear arsenal. So very interesting stuff popping off right here now, folks. I mean, we're seeing a lot of this. There was an article out the other day as well. I don't know if y'all caught it, but there was an article out about how France, the United States, China, and Russia all agree that a nuclear war is unwinnable for anybody. Don't believe that. I believe that they're just trying to deter the mind of the masses back to the COVID scare, and to try to get people away from what is actually coming here. Okay, they want people to fear the virus. They don't want people to fear the war, the upcoming doom that is ahead of us, because fear is a way of predictive programming. It's a tactic that's utilized by propagandists in order to control the mind of the masses. We know this if we study history, and have learned from Joseph Goebbels, who was the propagandist of Adolf Hitler's Germany during World War II. He utilized certain fear tactics in order to program the masses into following the socialist plans. They utilized the Hegelian dialectic a lot, problem, action, solution. So they would create problems or false flag operations or attacks, and then when these attacks would take place, they would have people that would come out and scream for change and for security, and then that's when they would implement the plan that they always had the solution for. So see, they create the problem that they have the solution for. That is a Hegelian dialectic, and it happens more often than you know. So, very interesting anyway, but we're going to move on here to the next. The war zone, okay? North Korea claims it successfully tested a new hypersonic gliding warhead. I don't know if I believe this or not, but I did read an article the other day that China and Russia were actually supplying these hypersonic missiles to Iran and to North Korea. So if that's the case, and they're helping them with the technology, like I read in the article, and actually supplying them the weapons, then this is not good, okay? This is going to really steer things into a very negative direction for the West. And I think that if we don't put a lid on this now, the West will not be able to keep up. China literally just created an artificial sun, okay? There's evidence of it, video proof of it. American scientists were allowed to come and see it because China wants the whole world to view it. They created a mini cold fusion nuclear reactor, okay, that can supply an almost infinite amount of energy. Very small one. And it's 5,000 times hotter than the sun. So, what are we doing here while we're all running around yelling at each other and dividing and falling apart and worried about nonsense, while the rest of the world is expediting technologically and moving forward into a new era of time? Kind of makes you wonder. But this Kazakhstan thing, I'm definitely keeping an eye on, as I know right now on the Ukrainian border there's about 497,000 troops, Russian troops staged there right now. Okay, Russia is now also moving troops into Kazakhstan as we speak, and China has also been contacted to help, because China and Russia are just like Russia and Germany were pre-World War II. Okay, they were great allies. Germany and Russia, Stalin and Hitler were allies. They were working together to push the socialist agenda. But Hitler became prideful in his own eyes and decided that he was going to push back against Russia. And Russia decided to tear them down and come in during the winter and pretty much practically destroy them. If it wasn't for Russia during World War II, we might have won that war, but it would have taken a little bit longer. And Russia really is the one that set the tone for that war. Hitler, that was his biggest mistake ever, right there. And that's what cost the war for the Germans. And thank God that happened that way, but the Nazis went into hiding, and now they're running around in suits and ties, and they don't call themselves Nazis anymore, but these political elitists and people within Operation Paperclip that were moved here, like Werner von Braun, Gunther Schwab, and many others, are all part of that Nazi agenda. The very founding platform of Gunther Schwab, which is the global warming creation of his, he is the founding father of anthropogenic global warming, is the model that was adopted for the United Nations in order to create a one world government and take control of all the world's resources and ration them out equitably according to what they believe is enough for you and me. Okay? So that's pretty much all the climate change agenda is about. It's not about saving the planet. It's about controlling the resources of the planet. It's absolute totalitarianism. Okay? So people need to wake up and read Agenda 21 by the United Nations, and then you'll see everything that's in there. It even talks about changing consumption patterns, sustainable development. You hear that word utilized a lot within the book. It's just another term utilized for communism. Okay, so there's a lot of this stuff inside the book if you guys want to look into it. Smart cities and all these other things. So yeah, but anyway, that's for another time. I just wanted to update you guys with this. We'll have more stuff coming here soon, especially with the Kazakhstan thing. I believe America's got its fingers all over this. NATO's definitely involved in the uprisings in Kazakhstan, just like the Arab Spring. Now they're trying to kind of perpetuate an Asian Spring to distract Russia, because I believe that they think that Russia is getting ready to go into Ukraine. So what better way than to destabilize a Russian ally, neighbor, strong Russian ally, neighbor, because Russia pretty much controls Ukraine, okay? Or it pretty much controls Kazakhstan, And if you remember the Uranium One deal, Kazakhstan is where the Uranium One Corporation is located. Now, Kazakhstan is heavily tied into Russia. And Kazakhstan also has a lot of American influencers in it because of the Uranium One deal. So we had a lot of politicians and other people that have been in that country. You know, we had black ops there training these groups to rise like they did. They trained them in America too, to rise up during certain times, to incite panic and fear during certain events that Trump was attending. And other things, other types of rallies for patriotism or freedom or the Constitution. They would automatically call people white separatist or white supremacist, and utilize these terminologies to invoke panic and fear in the nation, and say that anybody that sides with these groups that believe in the Constitution is racist or is bigoted, etc., etc. This is the type of psychological operations that they're utilizing to say, hey, if you think that way, you're a bad person. So don't say it out in front of public, because if you do, we will send this group after you or that group after you. We will character assassinate you, etc. Just like with the brown shirts of Nazi Germany. Hitler used the brown shirts just the way that our country is using groups here to invoke panic and fear and seize control that way. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to update you guys with that. Much love as always. If you guys are new to the channel, like, subscribe, check out some of my other videos that I've done, especially on the World War III topic, the End is Near series I did in the past, and check out my song I put on here that I wrote in the Spirit back in 2017 called Bring Us Home. Awesome song. I hope it brings peace and love to your soul and helps you to see that Jesus is coming. There's nothing to fear. Even with all these things going on, God has your back, and you have a place to go because He is preparing it for you right now as we speak. Again, love you. God bless you. And one other thing, there is another COVID strain that's out there. Follower Paul, Brother Paul told me, and it's just like one thing after another. You just keep seeing this thing pop off. I guess the guy came from Cameroon to France, so now there's cases in France. So just keep an eye out on that as we enter into the winter months, to where they may try to perpetuate another lockdown. Again, love you guys. God bless you, and I will see you all on the next one.